All right. Hello. Yeah, we're all connected. We are good. Good evening. Welcome to Beginner's Flow. All right. We have a couple minutes until we get started here. Got the chat pulled up on my phone. And we are going to be working on hips and hamstrings tonight in a really gentle 30-minute class. If you have 2 blocks, grab those and tuck them up by the top of your mat. If you don't have blocks, don't worry about it. You can definitely make do without. And we'll get started in a couple minutes here. Actually, 1 minute to be exact. I have the cat couch behind me, but at the same time as we got the cat couch, we hung a little bird feeder off our house. So now the cats sit on the real couch and look out the window. So the cat couch is good for when it gets dark, but there's like constantly birds there now. Dexter and Alice are like glued to the window, which is really cute, but now the cat couch is empty. All right, we're gonna get started in a minute. And if you're just tuning in, welcome. My name is Rachel. We are here every Monday for a 30-minute beginners class, focusing on hips and hamstrings tonight. And we are gonna start lying on our backs, so if you wanna slowly start making your way down there. I'm so sore today. All right, it is time. If you haven't already, starting to make your way down onto your back. Now you can choose here to lengthen the legs long away from you, or if you want to start in a passive hip opener, since we are focusing on hips and hamstrings today, you can bring bottoms of the feet together, knees wide, for a reclined Baddha Konasana or reclined butterfly to start. Arriving on your back this evening, finding some nice deep breaths on your mat. Taking nice deep inhales through the nose and exhaling from the mouth, letting everything soften down towards your mat. You can always bring your blocks to the outside of the legs there if you want a little support in that butterfly. Otherwise, we'll take 5 to 10 more breaths here, letting the arms fall wherever is comfortable. Maybe you want to reach them out to a T. Maybe you want to rest them on the body to feel those nice deep breaths as the chest rises and falls. Great, continuing that deep breath there. I heard a cat doing something very bad in the kitchen, so I had to go chase him away from that. Great, 1 more breath here. And then reaching the hands down to the outside of the legs to gently close and hug the knees in towards the chest, bringing hands to the front of the shin bones. From here, we'll take some circles with the knees, moving in the same direction or opposite direction, so going wide, meeting in the middle. Whichever feels better for you. Personally, I prefer going in opposite direction. I find I feel more stable on my back, and I can take much bigger circles. But of course, whatever feels better for you. We'll take 3 more in this direction, making these as big and slow as is comfortable. 2, and 1. Great, let's switch the direction with those circles. Still using nice deep breaths here. Oh, it's so sunny today. Now it's so cloudy. I thought we'd have sun for our class tonight, but this is Nova Scotia, so every 5 minutes we get a new season. Last 2 and last 1. Great, ending with those knees hugged in, and then release the feet to plant on the ground. Lengthen the right leg up towards the sky. Now, hands can reach up to grab for calf, thigh, or foot, and you can take a gentle bend in this leg if it doesn't feel good to have it extended right now. We're going to move through some points and flexes with the right foot, starting to get some gentle movement into your hamstring. Nice. We'll take about 2 more breaths here. And then ending with a flex into that right foot. Bend into the right knee and we'll cross right ankle over left thigh, landing you in a figure 4 position. Left leg can then scoop up and hands can interlace in the back of that thigh for your figure 4. While you're here, making sure you keep a flex into the feet, protecting the knees, and thinking about actively driving that right knee away from you, opening through the hip. Take 3 breaths here. Great, and then starting to soften into that grip to release the left foot back to the ground, but keep the cross of the right leg. We're going to turn this into a twist with an exhale, knocking this whole shape over to the left. Right foot is reaching for the ground or a block. Nice. Letting the arms fall wherever is comfortable in this twist, but keeping both shoulders anchoring down towards your mat. Take 3 breaths here. And then with that next inhale, pulling that back to center, uncross the legs. And we'll take that into the other side, lengthening left leg up towards the sky. Hands can grab onto that leg and taking a gentle bend if that feels better for you. Starting to move through your points and flexes with the left foot. Nice. Take a couple more breaths here. And then we'll end with a flex into that left foot. Bend into the left knee, cross left ankle over right thigh. Right leg can then scoop up. Hands can interlace in the back of that leg, finding your figure 4. Just like other side, keeping both feet flexed, thinking about driving that left knee away from you, finding opening into the hip. Take 3 breaths here. Right, finishing off that last breath, softening that grip to release right foot back to the ground. And with an exhale, taking this shape into a twist, knocking it over to the right, left foot reaches for the ground or a block. Keeping both those shoulders anchoring down towards your mat, We've got 3 breaths here in this twist. All right, let's slowly start to bring that back to center. Uncross the legs, and then knock the knees over to the right. Roll over onto the right side body. Use the left hand to press you up to a seat, and we'll open right up to a Baddha Konasana, seated butterfly. Taking bottoms of the feet together, knees wide. Sitting up nice and tall, you can bring the hands to the ankles. Take an inhale here. And with an exhale, hinging forward to find a fold. Thinking about keeping a long spine as long as you can, drawing the shoulder blades together. And when you can't fold any further, let the spine release and round. Inhale to bring it back up. Exhale, hinges forward, folding, keeping that long spine before rounding. And inhaling it up. Nice, let's take 3 more of these. Exhaling to fold. Inhaling it up. 2 more, moving with the breath. And last one here. Great, meeting all the way back up in a nice tall seat. Gently close the knees and tuck them off to one side to take you forward to a tabletop position. So we're coming to all fours, hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. With an inhale, reach the heart space forward, squeeze the shoulder blades together and down. Exhale, push away from the ground, round and contract. Inhale, opens that up. Exhale, rounds. We'll take one more like that. Inhaling to open. Exhaling to round. Bring the spine back to neutral and take the hands a step forward. We're going to take this into a big hip circle. Bump the hips over to the right. Shift forward. Inhale, squeeze the glutes as the hips sink down towards the ground. Bump it over to the left. Exhale, pushes you back like you're coming to your child's pose. Pulling it forward to the right. Inhale, squeeze the glutes, dip the hips to the left. Exhale back. Nice. Take 2 more of these. Moving with the pace of your breath, drawing a big circle with your hips. Last one. And then next time you're pushed back to that child's pose-like position, we'll take it into the other side, bumping over to the left. Inhaling to come forward, squeeze the glutes. To the right. And exhale it back. Nice. We're going to keep going here for a total of 4. So we got 3 more. Last 2. Nice, going into our last one here, meeting back in that child's pose when you finished. Great, take 2 breaths here. And then with the next inhale, start to pull yourself up out of that child's pose. Tuck the right toes, extend back through that leg. Take a couple shifts forwards and backwards here. Getting a little stretch into the calves as well as the wrists. Nice. We're going to stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowing those shifts to a stop. Right leg is going to sweep over to the right side. Plant the foot, toes facing forward. So we're in our tabletop with an extended right leg. We're going to move through some cat-cows here, working into that inner thigh. Inhale, reach the heart space forward. Exhale, push away and round. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, round. Take one more. Inhale, open. And exhale, round. Bring that back to neutral. We'll take a couple more breaths here. You can stay up on the hands. You could keep going through those cat-cows, or you could work down onto the forearms to your mat or blocks to get a little deeper. We'll take 3 more breaths here. Great, last round of breath here. Then starting to work back up onto the hands if you're on the forearms. Right leg is going to sweep behind and over to the left. Take a peek over the left shoulder for a little stretch through the right side body. Here for 1 breath in and 1 breath out. Nice. Right leg is going to come back behind you and lift it up off the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, pull knee to nose, round the spine. Right foot steps through to a low lunge. You can grab up blocks here if you're using them for under the hands, bringing those up next to the hips. Rising up to find your lunge, thinking about squaring the hips to the front of the mat, tucking the tailbone, and maybe inching that front foot forward to sink a little deeper into that hip flexor. Nice. You can always double up your mat if you need some extra padding for that back knee. No reason to be uncomfortable, because we're going to take a few breaths here, moving between our hip flexors and hamstring. So with your next exhale, pull the hips back, straighten through the right leg, flex the foot, hamstring stretch. Now noticing here if your hips want to drift off to one side, like mine are pulling over to the left, try to keep that as center as possible. Use the blocks to help stabilize. Inhale comes forward to your lunge. Think about that tailbone tuck. And exhale pulls it back, hamstring stretch. Nice. We'll take a few more breaths to work through the legs here, using that inhale to come forward and that exhale to pull it back. Now, if one area feels like it needs more attention than the other, maybe you're like, I really want to stay in this hamstring for a bit, you can, by all means, go ahead and stay there a little longer. I am here to guide you, but your practice is your own. We'll take 3 more breaths. Last 2. And last 1. Great, we're gonna meet back in that low lunge position. So next time you're there, pausing. I'm gonna shift on this back knee, taking the left foot over to the right side of your mat. Left arm is gonna take a big backstroke up and over, opening you up to the left side of the room in this grounded warrior-like position. Nice. With an inhale, straighten through that front leg. Exhale, rebend, sink the hips down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, take it down. Nice. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale to come up just one more time. Keep this front leg straight. With the next exhale, shifting like someone's pulling on your right hand. Bring right hand to inside of right leg, left arm up, high gate pose. You can always grab a block for under this right hand as well. Bring the ground up to you. I'll take 2 more breaths here in this grounded triangle-like shape. This is one of my favorite poses lately. Great, with the next inhale, rise back up, arms to a T. Rebend into that front knee to bring the hands down to plant. Gently pivot on the left. Tuck the back toes, lift that knee, and step up to a forward fold. Nice soft bend in the knees here, hinging at the hips. With an inhale, come up to find your halfway lift, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, sweep the arms. And exhale, forward fold. We'll take it right back down. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step it back to plank. And go ahead and lower the knees to the ground, tabletop position. All right, we're going to take that sequence into the other side. Tucking the left toes, extend back through that leg, starting with those little shifts forwards and backwards. Nice. Making these shifts as big or as little as feels good for your ankles, calves, and wrists. I'm going to try and steal a cat for my cat coach. Come on, Dexter. You can be a good little background cat. Nice. Let's shift for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowing those shifts to a stop. Left leg sweeps over to the left side, toes facing forward. Moving into our cat-cows with that extended leg, working into the inner thigh. Inhale, reach the heart space forward. Exhale, push away and round. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, round. Last one. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Bring the spine back to neutral, and we'll take a couple more breaths here. If you'd like, you can keep going through those cat-cows, or you can lower down to forearms on blocks or a mat, or stay up on your hands. Whatever feels good for you. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. Dexter left. The couch is still empty. Nice. One more deep breath here. And then if you're down on the forearms, starting to work back up onto the hands. Left leg takes a big sweep behind and over to the right, taking a peek over the right side, over the right shoulder for a stretch through the left side body. Here for 1 breath in. And 1 breath out. Great. Left leg is going to come back to extend behind. Inhale, lift it up off the mat. Exhale, pull knee to nose around the spine. Step it through to a low lunge. Nice. If you're using blocks here, grab those up under the hands. Coming up to find your lunge, squaring the hips to the front, tucking the tailbone, and then maybe inching that front foot forward to sink a little deeper into that hip flexor. Nice. Inhale, breath here. And with an exhale, we'll pull the hips back, straighten through the left leg, flex the foot, finding your half split or Ardha Anumanasana. Just like the other side, noticing if the hips are drifting off center, trying to keep them as square as possible, and inhaling forward to that lunge. Exhale, pulls it back. Awesome. We'll take a couple more breaths here, like we did on the other side. You can continue inhaling forward, exhaling back, or maybe it feels better to hold one a little longer than the other right now. I'll take 3 more rounds here. 3 more rounds of breath in whatever movement you're choosing. Last 2. And last 1. Great. Let's meet back in that low lunge position. And we're going to pivot on this right knee, taking the right foot over to the left side. Right arm is then going to take a big backstroke up and over, opening you up to the right side in this grounded warrior shape. With an inhale, straighten through the front leg. Exhale, rebend. Inhale, extend. And exhale, sinking the hips down. One more time. Inhale, stack up. Exhale, sink. Nice. Inhale, take that up once more. And with the next exhale, shifting like someone's pulling on this left hand, hinging to bring left hand to inside of left leg, right arm up, high gate pose. Adding that block under the left hand if you'd like it there. Let's take 2 more breaths here. All right, with that next inhale, rise back up, arms to a T. Rebend into that front knee to bring the hands down to plant. Gently pivot on the right knee. Tuck the right toes to lift that leg, and exhale, step up to the top, forward fold. Inhale, come up to find your halfway lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more time, inhale, lengthen, show me the halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to standing, sweep the arms, and exhale, forward fold, take it right back down. Inhale, lengthen, halfway lift, and exhale, fold, plant the hands, step it back to plank, and go ahead and lower the knees to the ground, tabletop position. Nice. I'll push the hips back to a child's pose. Take 2 breaths here. Great. And with an inhale, start to pull yourself up out of that child's pose. And take a seat off to one side. Bringing the legs to plant in front of you, planting them nice and wide, about the width of the mat. We're going to rock the knees over to the right. Turning your torso to square over this right leg. Flex the feet, and we'll start to work into a fold over this right leg. Now you can grab your blocks here for under forearms or hands as you start to fold over, getting a stretch into the outer hip. And this is our deer pose. It's very similar to pigeon. If you prefer pigeon, you could take it there, sending that left leg back, tucking the toes, lift and square off through the hip, and sinking down. Personally, I do prefer deer pose though. We're going to take 3 to 5 breaths in this deer. And I did successfully get a cat to stay on the couch. It's starting to get dark, so the birds are going away from the feeder. Right, take one more breath here in this deer fold. And then we'll start to work back up onto the hands if you're down on the forearms. And we're going to take this into a twist. Taking this left leg, pick it up and step the left foot in front of the right shin or all the way next to the right thigh. You can pull that right heel in a little closer if that feels better. Nice. Inhale takes the arms up, and with an exhale, twisting to the left, bringing this right elbow down towards the left thigh. Trying to stay nice and tall through the spine. Maybe using an inhale to grow a little taller, and exhale to twist a little deeper. Take one more breath here. Inhale tall, and exhaling to twist. Slowly undo that back to center. Lean back to uncross the legs, replanting the feet wide. We'll take that into the other side, knocking the knees over to the left. flexing the feet, turning to square over that left leg, and starting to work down into your fold from here. Adding blocks under the forearms or hands as you might like them. Keeping a flex into the feet, and if you did want to take it into your deer pose, sending that right leg back, tuck the toes to square off through the hip, and sinking down from there. We'll take 3 to 5 breaths here. Nice, one more breath. I'll start to work back up onto those hands and take it into our twist. Picking up this right leg, either stepping right foot in front of left shin or all the way in front of the left thigh. I like to pull my left heel in a little closer. Inhale, tall, reach the arms. Exhale, twist to the right, bringing left elbow down towards the right thigh. Right hand can fall behind you. And with your inhale, thinking about growing a little taller through the spine. And exhaling to maybe twist a little deeper. One more breath like that. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist. Great, slowly undoing that. Leaning back to take the legs into a crisscross applesauce position. Sitting up nice and tall. Take 3 breaths here. Great. And finishing off that last breath, that takes us to 7:30. That is all for tonight. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this class, please check out the link below for my Patreon, where we do multiple live classes per week. Coming up for the rest of this week, we have a 6 p.m. Pilates, which happens every Thursday night, which is a really fun one. And you're welcome. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys next Monday. All right. Thank you for joining us, Alice. See you next time.